Imagine the sky darkening, the wind howling, and a terrifying funnel cloud descending from the heavens. This is the reality of a tornado, an intense, powerful force of nature that can transform landscapes and lives in mere moments. Born from the volatile union of warm, moist air and cooler, drier air, these swirling vortices can achieve wind speeds of over 300 miles per hour. Their power is immense, their capacity for destruction unparalleled. Tornadoes can cut a swathe of destruction a mile wide and 50 miles long, flattening everything in their path. They can lift houses off their foundations, uproot trees, hurl vehicles through the air, and turn harmless items into deadly projectiles. In the face of such raw, elemental power, humans can seem very small and vulnerable indeed. Today, we delve into the terrifying tales of the top 3 most devastating tornadoes ever recorded in the United States. May 27, 1896, a day that saw one of the deadliest tornadoes in American history. Picture a day like any other in the bustling cities of St. Louis and East St. Louis. The sun was shining, people were going about their daily lives, and there was no indication of the catastrophe that was about to unfold. Then, in the late afternoon, the sky darkened, and the air grew heavy with tension. Suddenly, a massive tornado descended, cutting a path of destruction through both cities. This was no ordinary tornado. With a path that stretched for 10 miles and a width of a mile at its peak, it was a beast of nature. The tornado tore through homes, businesses, and factories, leaving nothing but rubble in its wake. Buildings collapsed like they were made of paper, trees were uprooted, and debris flew through the air like deadly missiles. The devastation was unimaginable. In St. Louis, entire neighborhoods were flattened. In East St. Louis, the damage was even worse, with an estimated 75% of all buildings destroyed. The city's infrastructure was decimated, with roads, bridges, and railways all severely damaged. In the aftermath of the tornado, the scene was one of total chaos. People wandered through the wreckage of their homes, searching for loved ones. Emergency services were overwhelmed, struggling to reach those in need amidst the debris. The death toll was staggering. Over 255 people lost their lives that day, making it one of the deadliest tornadoes in American history. Thousands more were injured, and the damage was estimated to be in the tens of millions of dollars. The 1896 St. Louis East St. Louis tornado was a catastrophe of epic proportions. It left a lasting scar on the cities and the people who lived there. But it also served as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the importance of preparedness and resilience in the face of such disasters. The 1896 St. Louis East St. Louis tornado set a devastating precedent, but it was not the last of its kind. Jumping forward to March 18, 1925, a day that will forever be etched in the annals of meteorological history. Now imagine a storm so relentless, so powerful, it doesn't just cross a town, a county, or even a state, but 3 states. This was the Tri-State Tornado of 1925, a monstrous whirlwind that carved a path of destruction across the heartland of the United States. Starting in southeastern Missouri, this behemoth of a storm swept across southern Illinois and into southwestern Indiana. It was on the ground for around 3.5 hours, an unprecedented duration for a tornado. Its path measured more than 200 miles, a record that stands unchallenged to this day. The Tri-State Tornado was no ordinary storm. It was a force of nature that seemed to have a life of its own. It obliterated entire towns in its path, reducing buildings to rubble and turning the landscape into a wasteland. The towns of Gorham, Illinois and Griffin, Indiana were almost wiped off the map. Murfreesboro, Illinois, was the hardest hit, with entire neighborhoods razed to the ground. The aftermath of the tornado was devastating. As the dust settled, the scale of destruction became apparent. More than 2,000 homes were destroyed, and around 15,000 people were left homeless. The death toll was staggering, with nearly 700 lives lost. Thousands more were injured, many severely. The Tri-State Tornado was a grim reminder of the destructive power of nature. It galvanized the nation to improve weather forecasting and tornado preparedness, lessons that continue to save lives today. The Tri-State Tornado was a catastrophe of epic proportions, but there was one more that surpassed even its fury. Fast forward to the 21st century, May 22, 2011, a day that Joplin, Missouri will never forget. On this spring day, the skies over Joplin darkened ominously, foretelling a disaster of epic proportions. An EF5 rated tornado, the most powerful on the enhanced Fujita scale, was about to unleash its fury on this unsuspecting city. It cut a path of destruction nearly a mile wide and 6 miles long, leaving little in its wake unscathed. The tornado touched down in the late afternoon, achieving winds of over 200 miles per hour. In its path were homes, businesses, schools, and a hospital, all of which stood little chance against the unyielding force of nature. The catastrophic damage was both widespread and heartrending. Entire neighborhoods were reduced to rubble, trees were uprooted, vehicles were tossed around like toys, and the landscape of Joplin was forever changed. The human toll was equally staggering. 161 lives were claimed by the tornado, making it one of the deadliest in American history. Thousands more were injured, and countless others were left homeless, their lives upended in a matter of minutes. In the aftermath, the city was a scene of utter devastation. But amidst the wreckage, the resilience of the Joplin community began to shine. Recovery efforts were launched immediately, with local, state, and federal agencies working alongside volunteers from across the country. Despite the immense challenges, Joplin refused to be defined by the disaster. Instead, the city became a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and rebuild. The 2011 Joplin tornado was a stark reminder of the unpredictable and devastating power of nature. It underscored the importance of preparedness and the value of community in the face of adversity. But most profoundly, it demonstrated the indomitable spirit of the American people. The Joplin tornado stands as the most devastating tornado in American history, a grim reminder of the destructive power of nature. These 3 tornadoes stand as the most devastating, but there are others that have left indelible marks on our history. Let's take a moment to honor a few more that have significantly impacted our nation. The year 1953 bore witness to a particularly vicious tornado known as the Flint Beecher tornado. This destructive force swept through the city of Flint, Michigan in June, leaving a trail of devastation in its path. It claimed the lives of 116 people and injured an astounding 844. The aftermath was a wake-up call for the nation, leading to the establishment of a nationwide tornado warning system that undoubtedly has saved countless lives since. Fast forward to April 1965 and we're met with the Palm Sunday tornado outbreak. A series of 51 tornadoes tore through the Midwest and Great Lakes regions, causing widespread destruction across 6 states. This event was noteworthy not just for its scale, but also for the unusual number of violent tornadoes, a staggering 17 in total. This outbreak underscored the need for improved tornado detection and response strategies, leading to significant advancements in meteorological technology and forecasting. While we're on the topic, we simply cannot overlook the 1974 super outbreak. This was the most violent tornado outbreak ever recorded, with a total of 148 tornadoes, touching down across 13 states and Ontario, Canada. It was a stark reminder of the unpredictable and catastrophic nature of tornadoes. And let's not forget the 2008 Super Tuesday outbreak, which spanned across the southern United States and the Ohio Valley. This outbreak was unique for its timing, occurring during the Super Tuesday primary elections, and it emphasized the need for emergency planning during large public events. These tornadoes serve as reminders of the immense power of nature and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of such devastation. The destructive power of tornadoes is terrifying, yet awe-inspiring. Today, we have journeyed through the haunting narratives of the 3 most devastating tornadoes ever recorded in the United States: the 1896 St. Louis East St. Louis tornado, the 1925 Tri-State tornado, and the 2011 Joplin tornado, each leaving an indelible mark in the annals of weather history. These tornadoes have not only reshaped landscapes, but also the lives of those who experienced them. They serve as stark reminders of the unpredictable might of nature, the vulnerability of our communities, and the imperativeness of preparedness. But amidst the devastation, they also illuminate the incredible resilience of the human spirit, the capacity to rebuild, recover, and rise again from the debris. As we stand in awe of nature's power, we remember the lives lost, the communities shattered, and yet the spirit of resilience that endures. Weather is a formidable force, but the resilience of humanity is an even greater power to behold.